And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be continuing the main scenario for Heavensward. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So, we had quite an adventure in the last one, finding out that Raban is still alive, and we managed to rescue him and so on, but also the fact that maybe Nanamo is actually still alive as well. So, we are here at the Waking Sands, our former home of operations, and let's now talk to Alphinaud. So the next quest is called To Siege or Not to Siege. Alphinaud is distracted by a call on his link pearl. Tataru? Yes, General Raban is now in safe hands. What? Another assault? Very well, we shall return at once. Pray notify the Count of our coming. It would seem we face another crisis. The Dravanians are preparing to resume their siege of the Holy See. Though I am loath to abandon the Sultanate to her fate, we lack the necessary evidence to act upon Dulala's claims. That being the case, I propose we leave Marshal Tarapin and the others to investigate, and return with all haste to Ishgard. Awesome. So, we need to go straight back to Foundation. So let's go. I do like the tabbing feature of the teleport. It does make life a lot easier. Okay, so, as always, A for right, A for net. The last vigil is the closest place to get to the Four Temps house. Here we go. So here is Tataru. So, there you are. Sorry for cutting your reunion with General Raban short. I wouldn't have bothered you, but the city's awash with rumours of another Dravanian attack, and Lord Heartfont was desperate to get hold of you. Speaking of whom, he and the others are waiting for you inside, so you'd better head in. Okay, so let's head in. We'll talk to the guard and get straight in there. So, my friend, I thank you for answering our call with such alacrity. As I'm sure you are now aware, the Dravanians are once more gathering for war. Mistress Menethil, Master Leveleur, I must apologize for this abrupt summons, but we thought it best to have Mistress Tataru contact you by one of the most direct means available. When the Observatorium's bell tolls, it's a warning that cannot be ignored. The Holy See has ordered that we make ready for battle. In case you haven't heard, a band of trappers returning from the west claim they saw a cloud of dragons big enough to dim the midday sky. Nidhogg minions gather once more for war. But I will not have you take up arms in another of our conflicts. When you first came to Ishgard, I offered you my protection. If I cannot ensure your safety here, I cannot well accept your aid, much less ask for it. The Signs of the Seventh Dawn, you are faced with a choice: to remain in a besieged Ishgard, or seek sanctuary elsewhere. I will not presume to influence your decision, but I must ask that you make it swiftly, lest our enemies force your hand. Okay, so let's now talk to Alphinaud. So, though we flee to the ends of the world, 'twould seem that no place in this troubled age is free of strife. Once more the horde descends upon Ishgard, and once more her weary defenders must take up spear and bow. The Count would have us seek shelter from this storm, but I for one grow tired of running. If we are to shine the light of dawn, we must do so in the sight of our fellow man, not hearkened in a hole. What say you, Mithrie? I will stay and fight, we cannot stay here, humph. I say I will stay and fight, of course. Then fight we shall. Let it never be said that we abandon our allies in their hour of need. Okay, so let's complete the quest to siege or not to siege. The next quest is called Alphinaud's Way. So Alphinaud is deliberating how best to proceed. The choice we make this day may have great implications for our order. It is only right that Ataru should have a say. Come, let us all meet outside and discuss the path that lies before us. Okay, so let's talk to Alphinaud outside. Okay, here's Alphinaud.
Ishgard cannot well endure another assault. Even should her knights succeed in turning back the Horde, the casualties will be catastrophic.
But what other choice do we have? It's not like we can talk it over with them. Dragons and men aren't exactly on speaking terms.
With certain notable exceptions.
You don't mean Iceheart?
When last you spoke with her, she lamented her crimes, did she not? Then there remains a sliver of hope. If we can persuade Iceheart to act as our intermediary, we may yet be able to convince Nidhogg to abandon his bloody course.
If there is to be a meeting, I would accompany you.
Estinian.
Even with your intermediary, Nidhogg's blood rage may render him deaf to reason. However, the mere attempt may afford our forces precious time to prepare. Of course, you might also consider a more direct approach to ending this conflict. With the power of the Eye at my disposal, and the vaunted strength of the Warrior of Light, we could conceivably slay the beast outright.
If we are to risk a face-to-face meeting with the Dread Worm, I for one would feel safer in the company of the Azure Dragoon. However, I should only turn to your lance if my words failed to find their mark. Is that clear?
Perfectly. I shall assume that Iceheart enjoys similar diplomatic protection until instructed otherwise. A word of advice. Think carefully before divulging the particulars of this plan to Sir Emeric. 'Twould not do to have the Lord Commander accused of consorting with heretics.
Indeed. I thank you for your counsel, Estinian. We shall be honored to have you with us.
I am glad to be of service.
Cool. So we're getting help by the Azure Dragoon. We have chosen a difficult road, yet even should we succeed in winning Iceheart to our cause, our plans for parley will swiftly come to naught, should the Holy See decide to strike first against the Horde. We must petition the Lord Commander's aid ere we set forth. I only hope that Sir Emeric will be willing to muzzle Ishgar's forces on the strength of our vague assurances. Tataru, I would ask that you remain at Fortemps Manor and inform the Count of our decision. Tell him that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn mean to do all in their power to ensure that Ishgard and her people survive. Yes, sir. Okay. So, we have to enter the seat of Lord Commander within the congregation of our Knights Most Heavenly, which is in Foundation, right there. So let's use the Alphinaud. We're going to go to the... Was it the Forgotten Knight? Yes, it was. The Forgotten Knight. There we go. So, you will speak with the Lord Commander. Pray make it quick.
I want the defenses of the outer ward rechecked. See to it that the ballistas are in good repair and supplied with enough ammunition for a prolonged siege.
At once, my lord.
Ah, 'twould seem I have visitors. And unlike those messing beyond our walls, these ones are welcome.
Pray forgive us for interrupting you in the midst of your preparations, Sir Emmerich, but our suit concerns the impending assault. To speak plain, we believe there is a chance the invasion might be halted before it even begins. I can divulge little more at this time, but I must nevertheless request that you advise the Holy See to refrain from launching any preemptive sorties whilst we seek to put our plans in motion.
I will gladly lend my support to any endeavor that could spare the blood of my countrymen, but I would know more of the cause you would have me champion. Will you not share aught of this mysterious undertaking?
Know that I have offered my lance to aid in this endeavor. I cannot claim that its success is assured, but our actions should serve to delay Nidhogg's advance at the very least. Which is more than can be said for the ill-conceived counterattack advocated by the sea's more vocal crusaders. They offer glorious death, but little hope of victory.
Aye, their proposal does not inspire confidence. Our resources should rightly be spent shoring up the city's defenses. The Azure Dragoon and the Warrior of Light sallying forth together to face the dread worm Nidhogg. I must admit the mere thought of it does much to dispel my misgivings. Go then, carry out your plan. I shall do what I can for you within the Holy See.
Cool. Right, let's talk to Alphinaud. So, having secured Sir Aymerich's support, we may proceed without fear of a preemptive Ishgardian attack, which is not to say we can afford to dither. History tells us that the Ravanians will attack as soon as their horde reaches a critical size. Before that happens, we must needs track down and win over the Lady Iceheart, and then locate and parley with Nidhogg. In short, time is against us. If you're ready, Estinian, let us be about our task. Okay, that's complete.
Such commotion.
Yes, Your Eminence. The bells of the Observatorium warn of our enemy's approach.
So, the dragons are coming. Let them come, in their hundreds and their thousands. With the divine blade in our hands, we shall rend their flesh and drown the heretics in their master's blood. Even Nidhogg and his foul brood shall be powerless to resist us. And when we have rid the world of their pestilence, we shall turn our attention to our Ascian allies. See that they are suitably rewarded for their invaluable assistance.
If I may, Your Eminence, the Paragons wield powers strange and unknowable. Can we be certain that they will not see through our deception?
We can be certain of naught save the righteousness of our cause. If you would be a true leader of men, you must possess conviction as well as caution. We seek to excise the root of an evil that has blighted us for 1,000 years. The risk is worth the reward.
And what of Estinian and this Warrior of Light? They have plans of their own.
Leave them to their purpose. We must each play the role we have been given. You and your chosen brothers most of all.
For the glory of King Thordan.
Interesting, interesting. So now the quest is called In Search of Iceheart, and we're going to get a wind-up Alphinaud. Interesting. So perfect for intentional summits, family get-togethers, pre- or post-battle gatherings, or other occasions where recapitulation of past occurrences is absolutely positively necessary. Lol. So Alphinaud would see to one final matter before setting forth. Before we set forth, we must needs inform Tataru of our plans. Then I shall await you at Saint Renette's Forum. Tell your friend we may be some time. The road you have chosen is neither short nor easy. Of that I need no reminding. Come, Mithrie, let us head back to Forthamp's Manor. Cool. So let's go to Forthamp's Manor. So as always, the quickest way is to go to the Alphinaud Shard and to go to the Pillars. So we're going to go to the last vigil in the Pillars. The only thing that has me slightly worried is that the fact we're getting a wind-up Alphinaud, like, I hope it's not like a hint that something will happen to him. Because we tend to get wind-up dolls when they're no longer there. So, our course is set, Tataru. It may be some time before Mithrie and I return to Ishgard. Well, just be careful, alright? Oh, and don't worry about me. I'll be busy listening out for news of our lost friends. If anyone can find them, it is you, Tataru. Farewell for now. Oh, before you go, you must put this on, Alphinaud. I made it specially. No, I couldn't possibly. Ah, very well. So by the 12, it fits perfectly, and the quality is actually rather good. I'm glad you like it. I've been practicing my needlework while I listen to rumours and the like. A good receptionist is always learning new skills. Woo, she's a weaver. So my thanks to Taru. Whatever else awaits me upon the road, I shall not fear the cold. 'Twas the least I could do. Now, I must be getting back to the tavern. I'll never catch up with all the gossip. Best of luck on your journey. So she's representing crafting. Woo, I like that. Okay, so let's now talk to Istinian, who's at the Foundation right there, at the St. Renette's Forum, or the Skysteel Manufactory, I think is the Alphinaud teleport. So we'll see what's about to happen. I feel something's about to happen, but I don't know what it is. Okay, here is Istinian. So, you have said your farewells then. Aye, we are ready to depart. I suggest we begin our search for Lady Iceheart without delay. Very well, and we will prove an elusive quarry. Where do you intend to start looking? In the absence of any fresh intelligence on Yisrael's movements, I propose we pick up the trail where you last encountered her, the Corvus Western Highlands. Let us speak with Sir Redwald, was it? As the commander of Falcon's Nest. It is like that he will know if any heretic activity has been reported in the area. Okay, so let's go to Falcon's Nest. Let's say hello to friends. Friends everywhere we go. So, Falcon's Nest. And hello. FC member, hello, hello. There is Redwald. So, well, Mistress Menethil, what business brings you back to Falcon's Nest? Judging by the company you keep, it can be no trifling matter. The Azure Dragoon I know, of course, but I do not believe I have met this young gentleman. Alphinaud Leveleur at your service, and you are not mistaken as to the gravity of our mission, Sir Redwald. As I am sure you are aware, the Observatorium has warned that the Dravanians gather for another assault. We believe there may yet be a way to avert the coming conflict, but only if we can find the elusive Lady Iceheart. Thus have we come to Falcon's Nest in the hope of acquiring the latest intelligence on the Heretics' movements. I see. Then you would be best served by speaking directly to my men. A patrol is due to return from its sweep of the surrounding lands at any moment. You may also wish to question the knights assigned to pick over the remains of the Heretics' refuge at Gorgant's Mills. 'Tis possible they have unearthed information that could be of use to you. Mistress Menethil knows well the place I speak of, for it was she who first discovered it. Let us divide our forces then. I will stay and await the return of the patrol while the two of you visit this refuge. When I have completed my inquiries, I will join you there. A wise use of our time. Come, Mithrie, I am eager to learn what Sir Redwald's men have found in the Heretic's lair. Cool. So we need to speak with the expedition leader, who is all the way up there, so it's going to be quite a run. So, in the meantime, basically, when you're progressing this quest, it's important to remember the fact that the world that we are playing in, this world of, Final Fantasy XIV and the A Realm Reborn and now the expansion Heavensward is all created for our entertainment. You know, it's all here for us to enjoy and learn as much about the lore, the history, the everything that's going on between the characters, how they interact with each other, everything and so on. So I would hope when you're going through the game, if you're still new to the game, or if you've been playing it for a while, or if you're still deciding whether you want to play the game, about whether or not about how you go about enjoying it, let's say. So for example, when I play the game and I do the main scenario and so on, like you see me, I watch every cutscene, I read out every word, and to absorb as much of the story as I possibly can. And I find it's important to do that because this game is kind of like almost like an interactive storybook. So for the people who effectively just skip all of the story to get to the ending as quickly as they can, or level up as quickly as they can, they're kind of missing the point. You know, it is the story that is the most important thing. It's not the leveling. And it's also as well more important even than both of those is the people you meet, about interacting with people, making friends, you know, getting to know people better and so on. I mean, that's the multiplayer element of the game, is the other players. Like, if this was just some unbelievably huge single-player game, I probably wouldn't bother playing it if I didn't have other people to share it with. So, I feel more of a need to share those feelings these days, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to express that, given that this is a very long run. And hopefully soon, in maybe a couple of episodes' time, I will be explaining as well how we go about unlocking flying and doing the Aether Currents in each of the zones. But I don't want to start that until I can fully finish a zone. So I'm waiting until I can fully finish unlocking flying in Corth and Western Highlands before I make my videos about how to unlock it. Okay, so we're almost there. This is where we were in the last story episode, or maybe a couple of episodes ago. There's an Aether Current right there. Okay, here's the expedition leader. So, Mistress Menethil, our findings, you say? Well, there is something of a tale there. Sooner had we chanced upon a promising-looking sheaf of letters, than we were ambushed from the shadows by great white beasts. 'Twould seem the heretics foresaw our coming and left behind their pets to discourage further investigation. Several of our number were badly wounded. And you cannot carry out your duties until the creatures are slain. We have not the time to wait for reinforcements. Let us deal with these pets ourselves, Mithrie. Okay, let's go. Interesting. So shall we... Maybe we need to go downstairs. In the meantime, let's do a stone skin. Why not? And we can always summon our chocobo. Get my chocobo a bit levels if we're killing mobs. There we go. So here's a fight for you. Nice. They're just polar bears, nothing more. They obviously found this place as a shelter. Okay. They should have just called Peter. Anyway, here's the expedition leader. So the beasts are slain then. My thanks, Mistress Menethil. We may return to our duty without fear of a mauling. Here we go. So here is the wind-up Alphinaud. So let's learn that now. Let's carry on the next quest. So the next quest is called From One Heretic to Another. So we can choose Savage Might, Savage Aim, Heaven's Eye. It would explain why these are so cheap these days. So the expedition leader has a promising lead to aid you in your search for Lady Iceheart. You wish to track down Lazy Iceheart, is it not so? The records we discovered here, those beasts mauled my comrades, appeared to be some manner of correspondence. We had not the luxury of pursuing their contents more closely, intent as we were on surviving an onslaught of fang and claw, but I'd wager those epistles contain more than friendly salutations betwixt lonely heretics. My interrogation of the patrol proved fruitless. Either we divine some clue from these letters, or we wander the snowfields and pray that the gods lead us right to Iceheart's door. 'Tis hardly a choice at all. Okay, so we need to collect the heretic epistles. I assume that there's one inside, and then we'll have to just look around for the other ones. Okay, here's one. One there. Okay, so it's the third one that I'm going to need to look for. Maybe the third one is outside somewhere. Oh, it's right there. I do love the music of this song. The dragon song. So, have you recovered much of the Heretic's correspondence? Yes, we have. So it says Heretic Epistle. What appears to be a record of past correspondence held between individuals regarded as heretics by the Holy See. Splendid. Added to the contributions from Master Levi-Lur and Sir Estinian, we now have more than a dozen letters. What have we here then? Every one of these pages is a record of dealings betwixt the Gargant Mills heretics and their fellows in the Amphitheatre. I mean, that's where we fought Shiva last time. There are requests for foodstuffs, clothing, and all manners of provisions. Iceheart's followers must yet inhabit the ruins we have fought abandoned. Okay, that's complete. We'll take a Savage Might, why not? For lols. So the next quest is called Sounding Out the Amphitheatre. So Alphinaud seems intent on travelling to the Amphitheatre. Not sure the proper way of pronouncing that. So the Amphitheatre, very place you witnessed the manifestation of the primal Shiva, was it not? If that is our destination, the journey will be long indeed. The Amphitheatre lies on the other side of a treacherous trough of ice and snow that cannot swiftly be crossed. Then we must place our faith in the Alphinaud. As you may recall, our dear friend Moonbreeder succeeded in creating the Aghaf beacon after it had been destroyed by Lady Iceheart. At the time, it was assumed that the resultant aephorite would only be temporarily viable, but given that the heretics of Gargant Mills seem to have been in regular contact with their brethren at the amphitheatre, I'll wager it still functions. I suggest we make for the aephorite within Snowcloak without delay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Estinian, but in the course of mapping the Snowcloak tunnel system, a passage was discovered leading out into the Western Highlands, was it not? Might it be possible for us to reach the aephorite from this side of the wall? It should. House Durandare posted soldiers at the Western Highlands entrance after the tunnels were cleared, but they will not deny us entry. Okay, so we need to go there. Right, so we have a run ahead of us. I don't mind. It's completely fine. Seems to be a quest here as well, but we'll look at that another time. Oh, I've got the wrong chocobo on my list. So let's see, mount guide. We have to put our original company chocobo. Guess I'll put it there for now, just so I can keep the black chocobo right there. Okay, so we need to go back over the bridge and take a left. So things are definitely progressing on nicely. So I'm very, very excited to explore the new zones. We're kind of mostly at this point only stepping into Gulf and Western Highlands, which is like just the first zone. And you can see I've barely uncovered the map as well. So hopefully when we unlock flying in the area, we can explore every corner, every nook and cranny sort of thing. And there are still several zones to go, but quite a few of those zones do not get unlocked until after you've done a certain part of the main scenario. So I might put more emphasis on the main scenario now, just so we have more access to the other zones. But I am also leveling up my crafting and gathering. You can see my crafts are nearly all 52. My gatherers are shooting way ahead, like you see 55, 53, 52, because gathering is surprisingly easy to level in Heavensward. I guess they wanted to make up for how difficult it was in A Realm Reborn. So I do have plenty of crafting and gathering guides on my YouTube channel that you can check out. And I teach you how to craft and gather from level 1 all the way to where we are right now. Okay, so we're almost there. Right, we'll try not to jump off a cliff when we're in combat, because that can actually kill us. Or even if we jump, we won't jump too far down. Okay, where is this? Is it down here? Oh, there's an Aether current down there. That's interesting. Yep, it's down there. So let's go. So I will be doing the Aether currents at some point. So anyway, here we go. Here is, let's see, Triss Chamble, but this is also a fight. So this random person is standing right over this. I don't know why. So, the guests of House Fortemps, accompanied by the Azure Dragoons, no less. I cannot imagine what brought you out this far, but you are welcome to enter the tunnels if that is your will. Assuming that the Ak-Ahaf beacon still functions, and we must pray to the 12 it does, we shall arrive at our destination in mere moments. Though I do not expect to be greeted by the primal Shiva, we should nevertheless be prepared for a frosty reception. The heretics are not like to rejoice at the appearance of uninvited guests, particularly ones with our history. Okay. Oh, we actually need to dismiss our chocobo. Can we do that? No. So this will definitely fail. So it says, sounding out the amphitheatre. If you're level 53 and above, it will be synced. Yep, so let's dismiss our chocobo. Withdraw. So let's talk again. Already read this. Okay, proceed. I don't know why some players do that. They just stand over the NPC. So, an impressive structure. I wonder how many ages it has endured. Mayhap you should ask its occupants. They seem a friendly bunch. Wow, sarcasm. So, Dogs of Ishgard, it is not enough that you banish our beloved saint. Will you not be satisfied until the ice is slick with the last drops of our blood? Stay your weapons. We come under the flag of parley. We wish only to speak with your mistress, that we might broker a peace. Do you think us fools, boy? It would take more than honeyed words to earn our trust. You walk with the Dragon Slayer, and we know all too well what he is capable of. My reputation precedes me. They give us little choice. Come, brothers, may dragon wings bear us to victory. Cool. So let's do this. I'm going to deal with the ranged first. They're weaker. The maid. And there's more. Okay, let's kill this cane waving heretic. The casters go down really quick. Damn it. Okay, here we go. Let's kill this mage. Okay, let's kill this. I do like these battles, that's for sure. And reusing these old dungeons as well. It's nice coming here solo. Let's do the Wild Owl Mage. Basically just keep them away from Alphinaud. Okay, I wasn't able to interrupt. Big one. I'll start using my cooldowns for this one.
Know your folly.
Get rid of the small ones first, and then we can deal with the big one. It's surprisingly hard. I'm sure Alphinaud will throw a secure if it's needed. Get rid of this one. Cool. Yeah, stun doesn't work. Just have to endure. So yeah, he's good health, so no problem. Good. That was easy. So, they fight like demons. 'Tis death to remain. Fall back, brothers. Retreat to the cinders. I see no sign of Lady Iceheart. What that we could have questioned one of them. What would you ask that we do not already know? They make for the cinders, and so must we. Even should an ambush await us, 'tis certain that there will be more heretics to question. The cinders, you say? I confess the name is unknown to me. Mayhap you would be so good as to enlighten us, Justinian. I suspect it is a heretic's way of referring to the Dreaming Dragon, an island of sorts found in the midst of the frozen lake of Ashpool. Some 500 years past, 'tis told the Azure Dragoon of the Age fought a dragon of titanic proportions. After a savage struggle, the mighty creature was weakened onto the point of death and forced into a magic slumber by an entire chapter of the Holy Sea's sorcerers. Ere long, a rain of ash and cinders did begin to fall upon the sleeping serpent's motionless form, covering the creature at length in a shroud of grey. Of course, a thick layer of ice has since formed on top of it, but you may be sure I speak true. A fascinating tale. We should make haste to this Ashen Isle. That's awesome. Okay, so let's speak with Justinian. So the Dreaming Dragon lies far to the west. Before we approach the Frozen Beast, however, there is another place I would visit first. I am told the Convictors have set up camp in Twin Pools. Their leader, Gentol, may have information of use to us. But mayhap you are not familiar with that name either. The Convictors are dragon slayers after a fashion, but I am willing to wager that they encounter their fair share of heretics. If we are indeed walking into a trap, I would learn all there is to know of our foe. A sound suggestion. Let us speak with these Convictors then, and temper our haste with a measure of caution. Okay, so we need to go to the Convictors' camp, which is right there. Let's go. Don't know if it's actually quicker for us to go back and run, or to run from here, but whatever. Let's see if there's any quick way to get up there. So, effectively, we won't be able to unlock flying in this zone until we have unlocked a few of the optional side quests. And the Camp of the Convictors is, I think, one of the last remaining quests I need to unlock, and then I can make my Aether Currents guide for Western Corvus Highlands. And if you're looking to do it sooner, there is already some really amazing guides on Reddit and other places that you can find that list exactly where to find them all. Or you could just do it old school and just try and find them all yourself. But just remember that it is required to have done certain parts of the story before you can continue. I like how this river is just frozen. Okay, so Convictor Camp is there. So these quests are definitely making us explore the zone more and more, that's for sure. Zite. I remember the Sanctuary of Zite from Final Fantasy XI. Okay, almost there, almost there. Here we go. So here is Jantelot. Well, well, what do we have here? Hoping to join the esteemed ranks of the Convictors, are we? The hard-eyed lass looks promising, but you have a frail look about you, boy. I give you 3 days ere the wilds claim your corpse. I beg your pardon. Be not so quick to judge. I have seen this frail youth fell heretics with a flick of his wrist. And who are you to question my... by the fury? The armor, the lance, the Azure Dragoon himself graces our camp. Pray forgive my disrespect, sir. I am Jantelot, leader of the Convictors and fellow slayer of dragons. May I ask what winds, fair or foul, carry you into our humble camp? Ah, Lady Iceheart, is it? Aye, I know her by reputation, but I'm afraid I've seen naught of her or her people. That said, my own men can be somewhat lax when it comes to making reports. You may wish to question them yourselves. Thank you, we shall. Mithrie, Estinian, let us make our way through the camp and see what information there is to be had. Okay, so we're going to complete the quest sounding out the amphitheatre. Okay, so I think that's a good time to stop the episode. So we'll end it right there, and we'll just continue in the next one. Just carry on the story and see if we can find Iceheart. So anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me. And goodbye from Mithrie.